Hey, that's not bad, you know, is it? Considering I don't get much exercise.
Oh, marvellous.
No, seriously. Hey, where's that tape measure?
Ken, I'm sorry, I can't concentrate just now. What have you done with my peppermints?
What would I want with your damn peppermints to get me awake after the night?
I know, you've hidden them, haven't you? Oh, come on, Ken, I need them.
Honestly, you sound just like a flipping drug addict. Just one job, I can't bear it. Just one little fix, I'll go mad. For Pete's sake, give me a peppermint. You daft thing. There they are. Satisfied? Hey, I hope you're not going to chew those things at the staff dinner tonight.
I'm not going to the staff dinner.
I hope what I thought I heard wasn't.
I said I'm not going to the staff dinner.
Oh, yes, you are.
Oh, Ken, you can shout till you're blue in the face, but I'm definitely not going to the staff dinner.
Well, why not, for heaven's sake? I thought it was all fixed up and agreed.
I would have thought it was perfectly obvious why not.
Oh, look, love, everybody understands. They've all had them themselves anyway. Now, look, just because you're having a baby doesn't mean you've got to cut yourself off from everything. We're living in the 20th century, love.
I can't see the point. I wouldn't enjoy it, Ken. It's getting a bit near, you know.
So what? Women used to have babies in fields. Still do in some places.
You're not suggesting I should have mine at the staff dinner.
You just got to think about it, that's all.
Oh, well, if that's what you think, go ahead and think it. But don't expect me to go, because if you do, you're going to be disappointed.
Ready to leave at 7:15, all right?
Ken, I mean it. I'm not
and
going.
don't have anything to eat, because I believe it's a very good meal.
I'm not going.
He always takes us for granted now, so let's have a look. Yeah, no, that's no good. Hey, wash basin, Princess Street.
Princess Street, Weatherfield.
Oh, aye, that's a bit near your old homestead, isn't it?
Oh, I'm sorry and all that, Mr. Fairclough.
I'd be sorry, mate. If I was in your shoes, I'd run 10 miles the other way. Hey, not that it's got out to do with me, but has she tried to get in touch with you?
Mara? Well, no, she couldn't, you see. I haven't told her where I am.
Oh.
I suppose you think I should have.
Me?
Well, give her a chance to talk things over and that.
Would it have made any difference?
No, it wouldn't.
Would have been a waste of time, then, wouldn't it?
It's not as if she needs out. She get all she wants from him.
Not from that old man, Mr. George Dickinson.
You know, I'll tell you this, Mr. Fairclough. If things had gone different and we'd had a family, I'd have hoped to have made a damn sight better job bringing him up than he did with her.
Yes. Well, we can't send you into enemy territory, can we, mate? Let's have a shift to what we got here. Hey, our new water tank. Rock Ferry Road. I dropped the tank off the other day, so it's all laid on.
Well, suits me.
Right. Can you do it in one day, do you think?
Oh, well, I can start on job tonight if it only means an hour or two.
Well, mind that little brush head of yours on the rafters, won't you?
I'll get me bits and pieces together then.
OK, me old love.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
Is Mr. Fairclough to hand?
Oh, aye.
I'm right in here, Emily, love.
Oh, good morning.
Walk right along in. Don't let these executive carpets and the velvet curtains let you down, darling. Because I'm still the same simple, warm-hearted lad that left Liverpool with tuppence in his pocket.
Yes.
What can I do you for?
I wondered, could you get me a good strong lock? I hardly slept last night for worrying. I mean, one hears so many stories and there's been a rather rough-looking man around lately.
Go on.
It may all be very innocent. Of course, I do have a tendency to imagine the worst.
I'll stick it in for you tonight, love. We can't have you looking under the bed every night, can we?
Under the bed? Oh, it's not the house, Mr. Fairclough. It's the garage.
Can I come in? Hello.
Oh, it's you, is it?
Yeah, I've brought your milk in.
Well, you're nearly a stranger, aren't you?
Well, we're up to our next of things at the moment, one thing and another. You know how it is.
Well, I can't say I do, but go on.
Well, as a matter of fact, I'm spending most of the time at the moment trying to sort out Val's moods. If she's not busy sucking peppermint, she's round at the vestry chatting up Mrs. Sharpwood.
Oh, is she? Well, she hasn't been round here chatting me up.
Yeah, well, she's got a bit of a thing about going to this staff do tonight. One minute she's going and the next she isn't. She needs somebody else to go round and tell her how stupid she's being.
Oh, and I suppose you want me to go round and egg her on, do you?
Would you?
Well, not that it'll make any difference, but it's nice to know I've still got my uses, I suppose.
Oh, hello, Mr. Tatlock.
Hello, love.
You're up then?
Aye, I'm knocking about again.
I'm just going shopping.
Mind me, my cold's a lot better, but my legs are still wonky.
Yeah, well, I better get off to work. Cheerio. Morning, Mr.
Morning, Kenneth. Well, I'll just go and see if there's out your short on.
Right, thank you, love.
It's very nice of him to pop in every morning to see how you are.
Pop in and see how I am. First time he's been round for ages. Then you know but comes round to ask a favour. They don't even know I've been badly. They think I've noted that else, except what they've got coming.
Oh, I couldn't.
Well, now, what would I do with a rattle pending my second childhood? You're welcome if it's any use to you.
Mrs. Sharples, it's silver.
Yes, it was one of my mother's most treasured possessions, that. She got it at a very posh place she used to clean out during the First World War by the woman whose son was killed. Everything she had belonging to him, she cleaned out. My dad was down to his last pair of pants at the time, and he walked around looking like Lloyd George for the next 2 years, and the poor lad's clothes. It's no wind that blows nobody any good.
Well, if you're sure, thanks very much. I shall treasure it.
Never mind about treasuring it. Life's too short. You want to use it. And stop mothering your mind about them peppermints.
Oh, well, like I said, it's not me that's worrying, it's Ken. I'm sure he thinks I'm going round the bend.
Yes, well, you refer him to me, then. I'll tell him about Lizzie Armstrong, who was down to sucking coal before she had her first.
Coal? I thought you said it was raw lemons.
Oh, no, that was Martha Longhurst before she had their Lily. That was Martha Longhurst before she had their Lily. But anyway, from what you've been telling me, I think your husband's showing more symptoms than you are.
Oh, well, he has been a bit irritable lately. I don't mean all the time, but just now and again, you know. I mean, take this dinner, for instance. If this had been a few weeks ago, it would have been me wanting to go and him saying no.
Yes, well, you know what's wrong with him, don't you?
Oh, it's not the baby, Mrs. Sharples. He wants it. He's glad about it.
Yes, well, I never said he wasn't, but see, the closer he gets to it, the more he realises just what it's going to mean. You see, marriage is one thing. Marriage and a family is another.
Well, he hasn't said anything.
Besides, it makes it harder for him to op it, doesn't it?
Pop it?
Yes, when you start throwing the pots and pans at him.
I've never thrown anything at him.
What, never?
Well, I did once pick up a book.
Pots, pans, books, words. For once you did it before or even thought about it, it'll do it twice when you've got a child striking its head off upstairs. And the funny thing is that it's because of that child he won't be able to walk out even for 2 days as a demonstration.
Oh, you don't have to make it sound grim, Mrs. Sharples.
Oh, it's all right, the lad is as far as I can see. He's no fly-by-night, even if he does have some fancy ideas. Hey, does he wear pyjamas?
I beg your pardon?
Well, Sharples used to wear a nightshirt, but I think they're out of fashion these days. I think that's about pyjamas.
Oh, I didn't know you'd anyone in. Shall I come back later?
Oh, no, it's all right.
Oh, no, I've got to go anyway, Mrs. Culver. Thanks very much, Mrs. Sharples.
You're welcome.
And thanks for the tea.
Yes, that's been nice too.
Ta-ta.
Ta-ta. Hey, you know, when I was a little lass, the world was half a dozen streets and a piece of wasteland, and the rest was all talk. And you know another thing? It's the same today as ever it was. How many million folk are there in China?
Oh, it's no good asking me anything like that. I was never very good at figures.
Oh, well, it doesn't matter any road. For all the thousands that's born today and tomorrow and the day after that, as far as she's concerned, there's just the one.
I wonder which she set her heart on, a girl or a boy.
Ah, well, you don't worry over much after it's happened, do you?
I don't know, Ina. I never had one.
Oh, hello.
Oh, hello.
I've just been over to Mrs. Sharples. I hope you haven't been waiting.
Oh, no, I've only just come. I was just waiting if you can give me an appointment, wondering if you can give me an appointment for later in the week.
Oh, I'm glad you said this week, not next.
Why, are you full up? I thought you were only taking regulars.
I'm closing down.
For good?
I think so.
Oh.
Thursday at 2 o'clock. Would that be all right?
Oh, that'll be fine, yeah.
Sit down. Has Norman sailed yet?
Oh, is there been now? It flew. After that, it'll be Canada.
Oh, well, that'd be marvellous for you.
Oh, now I've got used to the idea, but had an awful time making my mind up.
What? Surely it's
Oh,
the
really, I had. Mind you, some women would have jumped at it.
Oh, they're going to turn out some flimsy stuff these days, don't they?
Oh, I don't know, Ian. I think they look rather old-fashioned.
You don't say. What do you wear? Any road?
Oh, well, that's different. I am old-fashioned.
Hey, have you got anything else? Is it private or can anybody join in?
Oh, I am sorry, Mrs. Sharples. I just don't seem to be with it today, somehow.
You don't, do you?
No, as a matter of fact, I was trying to memorize the highway code, but I could really do with somebody to test me. I'm afraid it isn't one of my strongest points.
Is that it there?
Well, yes, it is, as a matter of fact.
Well, give it here, I'll test you.
Well, that's very kind of you, Mrs. Sharples. Could we start about there?
Yes. If you are involved in an accident... Oh, come, there's no like looking on the bright side, is there?
Well, I suppose one has to be prepared.
If you are involved in an accident which causes damage or injury
Mrs.
to any
Sharples?
other person or other vehicle or any...
Ina?
Look, I can't do this if you keep on interrupting me, can I?
No, Ina. Only, I think it's the wrong way round.
What Mrs. Caldwell means is that I should speak it from memory while you check.
Well, why didn't you say so at first?
Or other animal. A horse, cow,
You're wrong, you
ass,
know.
Are you sure, Mrs.
Yes,
Sharples?
doesn't say anything about cows here. What it says is cattle, and that includes bulls, if my memory serves me rightly.
Good morning.
Oh, dear, Mr. Hotwood, is it 1 o'clock already?
Well, as a matter of fact, I'm 1 minute early.
Oh, well, I won't keep you a moment.
I'll wait in the car.
Yes. Mrs. Sharples, Mr. Hotwood's my driving instructor, and it's supposed to be my first official lesson, I'm afraid.
I see. So you'd like us to go, would
Well,
you?
I wonder, could you perhaps choose what you want and leave a note on the counter?
Oh, I suppose we could. You wouldn't want to keep him waiting, would
Well,
you?
it is a bit awkward. I'm terribly sorry. It does seem an imposition.
Anything else?
Anything else?
Yes, like dropping the latch as we go out.
Oh, yes, of course. Would you?
Yes, we'll do that.
It really is most kind.
Yes, all right. Don't stand there fluttering.
No, I mustn't, must I?
No.
And thank you once
You're
again.
welcome.
Yes, thank you.
She seems very nervous, Ina, but I suppose it must be a bit frightening.
It's not driving car that's frightening her. It's what's sitting beside her.
Oh, nothing coming. That's a nice change. I can just go quietly along. Is that car going to come? Wasn't that wicked? I'm very sorry to give you such a shock, but I didn't know it was coming, you see.
Right, now, watch your mirror. There's nothing coming behind. It indicates you're coming out to the right and gently round this car. You did very well there. Very well indeed.
Armistead would have liked a motor car. He used to say he'd get one if his ship ever come in, but of course it never did.
You were both born at the wrong time, you and Armistead.
Oh, I don't know, Ina. We had a very good life together.
Well, you got plenty of rides on motorbikes, didn't you? Billy Ross.
Oh, fancy you remembering that.
You'd been very nicely off now if you'd married Billy Ross. His widow ran a boarding house in Morecambe before she died.
She were a nice girl, the one he married. I remember her very well. Oh, she had lovely auburn hair. She always wore velvet side boots years after they'd gone out.
Remember the day you went to Morecambe with him?
Oh, I remember my mother putting me on bread and water for a few days after that.
You know, I could have sworn you'd have come back engaged.
I never went out with Billy again after that.
You never let on what happened, did you?
I know you always thought there was something, Ina, but there was nothing to let on about. Everything turned out very well in the end. Like I said, me and Armistead had a very good life together, even if we never did have a motor car.
All right.
Yes, I think I'll just sit down for a minute if you don't mind. I'm sorry I had to stop so quickly. It must have been a terrible shock for you.
Not half the shock it would have been if you hadn't. Yeah, we nearly landed up in the other chap's back seat. You sure you're all right?
Well, a little bit shaky, perhaps.
Well, it's a pretty close thing.
And I'm still very hazy about what happened. It was all so sudden.
He backed out without looking.
Yes, I'm sorry I panicked, Mr.
You
Hotwood.
didn't.
Well, I know I made a few silly mistakes afterwards, but it had shaken me up a bit.
Look, if you can react as smartly as that, you're going to be all right. Well, it's half the battle coping with stupid clocks like that.
What's the matter?
Well, just had a narrow shave in the car.
Oh, you're right.
Oh, I'm sure I'll be quite all right in a minute or two.
Can I do something to help?
Well, I dare say a cup of tea wouldn't go down too badly.
Oh, yes, I'll make one. The kettle's in Mr. Swindler's
No,
office,
I
isn't
can
it?
manage,
Now,
really.
you sit there while I put the kettle on.
Look, I've another pupil in 5 minutes. Do you mind if I pop back later on?
I'm quite my usual self now, thank you.
Good, good. Well, then I'll see you tomorrow at the same time. Must get straight back into gear again.
I shall look forward to it, and of course, if you happen to be passing any time...
Oh, many thanks.
Oh, can I get you a cup of tea,
No,
please?
thanks. Must push on.
Now then, what's happened?
Oh, some clot pulled out of a side road without looking.
Dear, it must have been an awful shock.
Well, yes, but it really is amazing how much you can learn in a crisis like that. Mr. Hotwood seems to think that I cope very well.
Dick, mate, I'm not kidding you. It was chaos while it lasted. Still, we're over the hump now. No, I'm not making too much money, but what's the matter as long as you're happy? I spoke too soon, Fred. I'll ring you back, eh? Sit down, me old man.
Well, where is it?
Well, now that depends, doesn't it?
Depends on what.
I know you're looking for.
You know who I'm looking for. Jerry Booth.
Young Booth, eh? And what makes you think you might find him here?
I happen to know that he's working here.
Oh, I see. The little birdies have been talking, have they? Who told you?
Don't matter who told me. What matters is I know. I want him.
Well, as you can see, he's not here. But I'll tell him you called, eh?
Giving him his job back, have you?
That's right, yes, and very glad to. And all, he's a good little worker, is Jerry.
Oh, well, that's as maybe. But as far as I'm concerned, he's a two-legged little rat.
They're very strong words, Mr. Dickinson.
Strong words is justified. I can see he hasn't told you.
Told me what?
He walked out on my Myra.
Oh, that. Oh, yes, he did. Mention something about that in passing.
You're on his side, then?
That's right, yes, I'm on his side.
Told you a pack of lies, I suppose.
No, he didn't know. Just his own stupid fault.
Well, you're talking sense now.
In the first place, he should have had more nous than to marry her. And in the second place, having got landed, he should never have left the street.
I took him on. I made a home for him.
A home? Oh, do me a favour, mate. I'd only young Jerry Booth to tell me what kind of a home you made for him.
Yes, well, I suppose I might have expected this from you. You made a right muck-up of your own marriage, from what I've heard.
I don't think I quite heard that correctly, Mr. Dickinson. Do you mind repeating that?
Oh, well, it's young Booth we're on about.
As far as I'm concerned, he's well rid of the pair of you.
I want to know if he's coming back. That's all I want to know.
Then why don't you ask him?
I'll wait, then.
All right, wait. You'll have a hell of a long wait, though, because he's on overtime tonight working away.
I see. Well, if that's how it is, I'll come back tomorrow.
You do that.
Right. You crowned that to start with.
Why does you always get yours crowned first?
Because I've had more practice. You come here every other week and you'll soon be running me around in town.
Yeah, I won't be able to for a bit. We're doing a lousy play with the lads.
The lads?
Yeah, it was them snotty-nosed kids from grammar school. It's called The Way of the World by a dead fella called Congreve. Sort of about switched off. It's not even connected.
I thought you liked being in plays. You fancied yourself in that pantomime we had.
Well, I've got a rotten part for one thing.
You know, what you want is some patience, Miss Hewitt. Patience and perseverance.
I had a starring part in pantomime.
Yes, well, big trees from little acorns grow. You watch your moves in future.
Val? Hi, love.
I'm upstairs.
You know, that's a great thing about you, love. When it really comes to the point, you never let me down.
Meaning?
Meaning, thanks for changing your mind.
Who said I changed my mind?
Oh, so listen.
I'm sorry to spoil your big illusion, love, but I haven't changed my mind. I'm not going.
Oh,
I've put your best cufflinks
Oh,
in your
blast me
shirt.
best cufflinks. Val, be reasonable.
Reasonable, me? I wouldn't mind putting it to the vote as to who's being unreasonable in this house. Anyway, I'm not going, and that's fine.
Look, love, I've had enough to put up with the last few weeks, and honestly, I just don't know whether I'm coming or going.
You've had enough to put up with? Is that what you've been thinking?
Well, since you brought the subject up, yes, it is.
Oh, all right then. Come on, trot them out, all your complaints. It's certainly
Oh, no.
news to me.
No, I'm not having a slanging match.
Oh. Well, you've already started one. I've not said one word about you going off without me, but I don't like being stuck here on my own while you go off enjoying yourself.
Look, Val, I'm not going to enjoy myself.
Well, in that case, why bother going?
Because it's a staff do, it's work.
Oh, you really can make yourself believe anything, can't you? Oh, and while we're at it, would you please not send Uncle Albert round here to chivvy me into things? Especially when he's recovering from a heavy
Yes,
cold.
recovering. If I hadn't been round, you wouldn't even know he'd been ill, would you?
You're not trying to make a virtue out of a purely selfish visit. When I asked you to call round the other day, it was just a bally nuisance.
Look, love, for the last time, you ought to come, and I want you to come. Now, for heaven's sake, are you coming?
No, I'm not.
Right.
Hello, Mr. Tatler.
Hello, love.
Oh, that's nice. Student Prince, isn't it?
I hear you calling me.
Eh?
That, I hear you calling me.
Oh, I've got your shopping in. Only I couldn't get the beans you wanted, so I got another kind.
I don't like any other kind.
Oh. Oh, well, I know they're all right. I've had them myself, and Charlie likes them.
Oh. Well, look, did you get me disinfectant?
Oh, dear, no. I knew there was something I'd forgotten.
All right, well, never mind, love.
Oh, well, I'll go back for it.
You'll go out and sort. I'm not that desperate, any road, not so long as you notice. And besides, I'm not going to have you running about just because them at Sable ain't more willing.
Oh, I think Ena'll have some. She generally has a drop in. I'll raise the subject when I go over.
Ah, well, if she's got a drop bit to spare, you know, Mrs. Sharples will fork it out for me. It's only when you get old you find out who your friends are. My Aunt Annie used to say that, and by gum, she were right.
Oh, you'll be better in a day or two, Mr. Tatlock.
I'm known so badly, but that doesn't alter circumstances.
I always find Charlie very willing if I ask.
Nay, love, nay, you shouldn't have to ask, should you?
Oh, I don't mind asking. It doesn't cost anything to ask, as Ena would say.
There was a woman at the door selling pegs, so I sent her away.
Oh, was she a gypsy?
Yeah, I think she probably was. Why?
Oh, it's not a very good thing to do that.
Why?
She might put a curse on you.
Oh, well, it's too late now. I'll just have to regard myself as cursed.
Oh, come to borrow some of it, I suppose.
Oh, now and Clover, don't be like that. I know we've been a bit neglectful lately, but it's just been one of those times. I'll have more time when I've closed the salon.
Yes, she will, won't she? She'll have more time when she's closed the salon.
Aye, I dare say.
Oh, well, I'll just cop over to Mrs. Sharples and raise the subject. I'm sure it'll be all right if it's for you.
Thank you very much, love.
Oh, it's nice to be able to help old friends, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'll put the kettle on, love.
Oh, right.
Ta-ra.
Ta-da, love. Wouldn't have thought you could have shown your face in here.
Oh, all right. You've made your point. Now let it rest.
Why, I've made my point, so I'll let it rest.
Oh, honestly, you're turning into a right old misery, aren't you? Now, come on, stop looking so badly done to and tell me what's wrong.
Note that a coffee won't cure.
For heaven's sake.
It's all right, you laughing, me girl.
Look, how are you fixed for a bit of babysitting tonight?
Babysitting? And what baby would that be?
Me. Ken's going off to this do on his own.
Oh, it's like that, is it?
Oh, no, it's not like that. It's warmer at our house, and I thought we could keep each other company. Oh, all right, I'm sorry. I'm sorry I haven't been round, but I just haven't been able to manage it. I thought you'd always let me know if you were ill. Oh, Uncle Albert, what about it?
All right, well, go and make that tea then.
Hello, mate. Oh, yeah, you're getting old, eh, Jerry, lad?
No, I've been banging me back on flipping joists all day. I don't know, they don't know how to put these tanks in some daft places.
Is it all done, then?
Oh, of course it's done. Record time and all. Lads at Roscoe and Pitch would have taken 2 days on that lot, you know.
Good lad, Jerry.
Oh, she wanted to pay me, but I said you'd send her an invoice, like.
Ah, you're dead right there, mate. You fancy wetting your whistle, then?
Well, I do, I know.
Hey, Jerry, lad, you had a visitor a bit earlier on.
Was it Myra?
No, it, old man.
Well, how did he know? How do you?
He had a little bird's learned to fly.
What did he want?
He wanted you to go back to him.
What did you tell him?
Well, I told him to ask you.
Oh, I see.
Well, I could hardly tell him to sling his hook. I mean, after all, it's really none of my business, is it?
No, of course not. I didn't say it were, Mr. Fairclough. I'm sorry you've been bothered, that's all.
Hey, look, Jerry, lad, you've had it pretty rough the last few weeks, haven't you? Why don't you take a day off? Go to Blackpool. Have a shufty along the sand and see what the tide brings in, eh?
You mean so I won't be here when he comes back?
Oh, he'll be back, mate. These fellas never give in, you know. He'll be back, all right.
Well, let him then.
Jerry, if you want to
No,
die
it's
off...
all right, Mr. Fairclough. If that's what he wants, let him.